Welcome back, Tenno. If you've played this game for longer than a week, you've probably heard about Saryn. You've probably been in a squad with someone in-game with a Saryn, and probably just like me, she was recommended to me by a clanmate when I was looking for a new frame to play. She's been a top pick since her release in 2016. Even in 2025, she's still one of the most played Warframes. In 2024, her play rate jumped by 20% and she finished as the 6th most played frame, which just proves her reputation as the queen of DPS is solid. But Saryn isn't just popular, she's lethal. Her kit is all about infecting everything nearby, spreading status effects, stripping armor, and mowing down crowds. Citrine Prime pushes it further with extra energy, armor, and sprint speed. No matter what you throw at her, Saryn can turn any fight into a damage ramp. With the right build, she just gets better. The latest changes and buffs have only made her stronger, and her weapon synergy is some of the best in the game. If you're thinking about picking up Saryn, don't hesitate. She lives up to every bit of hype. Saryn's passive extends every status effect she applies by 25%, whether it's from her weapons or abilities. This alone helps her keep status effects active across the whole map. Every toxin, corrosive, or viral proc lasts longer, making her area control even stronger. Spores infect a target with corrosive spores that spread to other enemies when burst by striking them or when the host dies. Each spore deals corrosive damage per second with a 50% status chance. Damage ramps up every second spores are active, and the more enemies you infect, the faster it grows. You can burst spores by shooting, melee attacks, abilities, bullet jump, or even enemy attacks. The more you spread, the higher your damage ceiling, capped at 100,000 damage per second. If all spores or infected enemies are wiped out, the damage starts to decay. But duration mods slow this down. Recasting spores uses up some of the stored damage to start a new outbreak at a reduced energy cost. Toxic Lash makes popping spores easier. If you use the Venom Dose Augment, you can hold cast to buff yourself and allies with bonus corrosive damage for 40 seconds. Spores is a one-handed action. You can use it while moving, reloading, or attacking. If the target dies before the spores appear, your energy gets refunded. Molt sheds Saryn's skin and leaves behind a decoy that draws enemy fire for up to 40 seconds. This ability instantly cleanses all status effects and gives Saryn a short speed boost. The decoy has its own health and shields and explodes for toxin damage with a guaranteed proc when it dies or expires. You can recast Molt to blow up the old decoy and place a new one. It works while you're moving, shooting, or doing almost anything else. Molt can also be subsumed with Helminth if you want this utility on another Warframe. Toxic Lash adds extra toxin damage to every attack and doubles the bonus for melee hits. Each hit with Toxic Lash adds a guaranteed toxin proc and instantly pops any spores on your target, spreading the infection faster. This works with all weapon types, and you can cast it one-handed while doing other actions. Status duration mods and Saryn's passive make these procs last longer. Toxic Lash uses elemental mods and faction bonuses, multiplying your damage output. You can recast it anytime to refresh the duration. Miasma was originally Saryn's 4th ability. It dealt viral damage in an area for 6 seconds, mainly finishing off targets after armor strip. For this build, I replaced it with Rhino's Roar. Roar gives Saryn and her allies a team-wide damage buff for 30 seconds. This boost applies to every weapon, every ability, every spore stick, and every status proc, including Toxin, Slash, and Gas. Roar stacks with other bonuses, so it fits Saryn's ramping damage playstyle. Roar is better than Miasma for this setup because it isn't just a one-shot nuke. Instead of a short viral burst, you get a damage buff for your whole team and your entire kit that lasts through your full rotation. For a build focused on spreading status and damage over time, Roar lifts every part of Saryn's kit and weapons to another level. Here's the full breakdown of my Saryn build, focused on tanking, scaling damage, and getting the most out of her status-heavy kit. Arcane Blessing is your main source of bonus health. Every health orb you pick up gives you more max health, up to 1,200 bonus when fully stacked. Thanks to constant orb drops from abilities and companion effects, you can reach those stacks quickly and tank big hits with ease. You don't need to be missing health to pick up orbs, at least until you max out the buff. Arcane Fury gives you a 60% chance to gain 180% more melee damage for 18 seconds whenever you land a critical hit. For my selected melee weapon here, which has a high crit chance, this Arcane stays active most of the time. It stacks with base damage mods like Pressure Point, making every swing count. Brief Respite in the Aura slot converts your energy spent on casting abilities directly into shields. Each time you use an ability, you get a chunk of shields back. This gets even stronger if you add in Augur set mods. You get steady overshield coverage between casts and reduce the risk of getting instantly dropped by chip damage. Power Drift in the Exilus slot gives a boost to ability strength and a chance to resist knockdowns. The extra strength amps up your damage and venom dose, while the knockdown resist helps you keep moving through the chaos. Primed Flow boosts your maximum energy by 185%, which is a huge deal for Citrine Prime. It lets you cast more often, and I never worry about running dry after a few casts. Primed Continuity gives you 55% more duration. This stretches out Toxic Lash, Venom Dose, and Mold Speed buff, and helps keep your shield gating and energy conversion rolling with fewer recasts. Equilibrium turns every health orb into extra energy and every energy orb into extra health. This is the core of your sustained loop. With orb generation from Saryn's spores, molt, and your companion, you get steady healing and energy even if you're already full. Blind Rage is your primary ability strength boost, raising the output of spores, Toxic Lash, and Venom Dose, but at the cost of reduced efficiency. More ability strength means your abilities and weapon buffs hit much harder. Efficiency issues are mostly covered by the extra energy from orbs and primed flow. Venom Dose is the augment for spores. Hold cast to buff yourself and your squad with 100% bonus corrosive damage on all attacks for 40 seconds, scaling with ability strength. This turns your weapons into corrosive machines and stacks another status layer onto every attack. It fits Saryn's gameplay and ramps up both weapon and ability damage. Precision Intensify gives a massive ability strength boost, but only for your fourth ability. In this case, that's Roar. This mod amps up your team-wide damage buff and helps every Spore Stick, Toxic Lash proc, and weapon hit land even harder while Roar is active. Adaptation builds up to 90% resistance against any damage type you take. Every hit you take stacks more resistance, letting you stand in the thick of it while spores and your melee keep clearing everything out. Catalyzing shields drops your max shield pool, but sets your shield gate to always give you the full immunity window when shields are refilled. With brief respite and constant casting, you get near constant shield gates and can shrug off even heavy barrages. Every piece of this build is about staying alive, scaling your damage, and letting you chain abilities and melee swings with almost no downtime. For Archon Shards, I'm running 3 Tall Forged Emerald Shards with the Toxin status effects deal plus 45% more damage buff. This adds up to a massive plus 135% bonus to all your Toxin dots, pushing both Spores and Toxic Lash numbers higher. I use a 4th Tall Forged Emerald Shard to recover plus 3 health each time enemies take damage from a Toxin status effect, giving you even more sustain during large fights. For quality of life, my last shard is a Tall Forged Amber Shard that fills plus 45% of my maximum energy every time I spawn or revive. This is my personal preference. It means you're always ready to start casting right out of the gate with no waiting or energy scramble. If you want a Saryn that can take on steelpath, clear rooms fast, and survive big hits, this setup is for you. Here's my Dual Keres Prime build, tuned for fast clears, status stacking, and high crit damage. This setup is designed to take full advantage of Saryn's ability to spread status, pop spores, and ramp up damage with every swing. The arcane I'm using is melee exposure. Every time I cast an ability, my melee strikes gain 60% bonus corrosive damage for 25 seconds, stacking up to 240%. This arcane turns every ability cast into a power spike, and it makes every Spore's burst or Toxic Lash hit even deadlier. With Saryn's frequent ability cycling, it's easy to keep this bonus stacked and always active. The stance mod is Carving Mantis. This stance is fast, aggressive, and has strong slashes mixed with quick stabs. The combos deal plenty of bonus slash damage and keep you moving forward, so you're never standing still or locked in place. Some attacks in this stance also have extra status chance, which pushes your proc rate even higher. Dreamer's Wrath is in the Exilus slot. This enables Tennokai, raises your Tennokai chance, and gives a big boost to heavy attack critical damage. It's perfect for mixing regular attacks and heavy finishers, especially when you want to drop a big crit with your combo meter stacked. For the main mods, I start with Galvanized Steel. This gives a big chunk of critical chance and builds critical damage with every melee kill. The more you kill, the harder your next swings hit. Galvanized Elementalist adds extra status damage and status chance on kill, which keeps your status effects rolling and feeds directly into Saryn's playstyle. Primed Pressure Point is the main damage mod. It's simple, but pushes all your numbers higher across the board. Blood Rush takes your critical chance through the roof as your combo counter climbs, making red crits a regular thing. Berserker Fury gives you a major attack speed boost every time you kill with melee, stacking up to twice. It keeps your swings fast, lets you pop spores with ease, and makes it easy to keep your combo meter high. For elementals, I'm running Volcanic Edge for heat and Vicious Frost for cold, both adding 60% status chance as well. This pairs perfectly with Saryn's kit and helps you pile on viral and heat procs for more damage over time and spore synergy. In my flex slot, I have a Dual Keres Riven with critical damage, critical chance, doubled on heavy attacks, and extra range. If you don't have a Riven, just use Organ Shatter or Amalgam Organ Shatter for the critical damage bump. You'll lose a little extra reach, but you won't be missing out on the main damage curve. Everything in this build is about chaining status procs, landing big crits, and clearing mobs as fast as possible. It lines up perfectly with Saryn's ability to spread and ramp damage, and you'll always feel like you're doing something. You're swinging, killing, or just watching the numbers climb. If you don't have Dual Keres Prime, two other dual swords can fill a similar role: Okina Prime and Nami Skyla Prime. Okina Prime offers a 30% high crit chance and a strong 2.6x crit multiplier, plus a 5% movement speed bonus when held. But its status chance matches Dual Keres Prime, while its base damage is still lower. You'll feel a drop in overall DPS, especially on tougher content. Nami Skyla Prime brings the fastest attack speed in its class and an impressive 34% status chance, making it a strong pick for pure status builds. It falls short for crit setups with only 22% crit chance and a 2.0x multiplier. Still, it's a great alternative if you want to focus on status procs and rapid swings rather than crit scaling. Dual Keres Prime gives the best of both worlds. It has strong critical chance and high status chance, letting you build for hybrid crit and status effects. Its base damage, swing speed, and mod flexibility put it ahead of both Okina Prime and Nami Skyla Prime when you want to maximize your damage on Saryn. Now, here's my typical ability loop with this build. I start every run by casting Roar. This gives me and my teammates a big damage buff that covers all weapons and abilities. With Roar running, every tick of spores and every melee swing gets a serious boost. Next, I activate Toxic Lash. This loads all my attacks with extra toxin damage and guarantees toxin procs on every hit. It also lets me burst spores with every strike, so I can spread infection faster across the map. Before I start hitting enemies, I cast Spore on a target in a group. This gets the infection started. One good hit is enough to pop the spore, and from there, it spreads to everything nearby. The more enemies get infected, the higher the damage ramps up. Whenever things get crowded or I need to break away from a dangerous spot, I use Mold. This drops a decoy, clears any status effects on me, and gives me a quick burst of speed so I can reposition or stay alive. This loop keeps the buffs rolling, the damage stacking, and lets me control the flow of every fight. Stay aggressive and keep cycling your abilities, and you'll never run out of damage or ways to survive. For my primary weapon, I'm using Cedo Prime. It's a powerhouse shotgun that deals bonus damage for each unique status effect on the target. The primary fire sprays buckshot, and the alt fire launches a bouncing glaive that explodes and applies guaranteed status effects. Cedo Prime is strong and perfect for status builds, but here it mostly sits as backup. I rarely use it since this is a melee-focused Saryn build. If you want to see the details, I'll put my full Cedo Prime build on screen. For my secondary weapon, I'm running a Spore Laser Kit Gun. It fires explosive toxin shots that split into bomblets, dealing big status bursts and spreading procs fast. You can use it for crowd control or to prime enemies for melee, but I hardly ever switch to it because my focus is on melee with Dual Keres Prime. If you want to see the mod setup, you'll see a screenshot of my Spore Laser build on screen. The main point is simple. These guns are strong, but for this build, they play a supporting role. The real work is all done with melee. For this build, my companion of choice is Diriga. Diriga is a Grineer combat sentinel equipped to help control crowds and keep orb drops flowing. It uses a mix of status spreading, stuns, and support mods to fit perfectly into a Saryn setup focused on melee and status spam. My Diriga is running Arc Coil, to zap up to 7 enemies at once within 10 meters, dealing electricity damage and sometimes stunning targets. Momentous Bond lets Diriga gain a random elemental damage buff for 30 seconds every time an Eximus enemy is killed, which can stack and helps the Sentinel hit harder in long missions. Contagious Bond spreads half the status effects from any kill to nearby enemies, adding even more proc pressure to crowds. Assault mode makes sure the Diriga is always targeting the first enemy it sees, and Primed Regan keeps the Sentinel in the fight by reviving it faster with a short invulnerability window. For more utility, Shield Charger gives your Warframe bonus shields and faster shield regeneration every 30 seconds. And Manifold Bond makes sure all status types on Diriga's weapon are spread by its abilities. Calculated Redirection boosts Diriga's shield capacity, keeping it alive longer, while Synth Deconstruct gives a steady supply of health orbs on enemy death. Vacuum is here to pull in loot and orbs, helping you keep your sustained loop running without chasing drops across the map. For Diriga's weapon, I use Burst Laser Prime. This Sentinel weapon is all about high critical chance and stacking status effects. My Burst Laser Prime build stacks Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence, Magnetic Might, Scorch, Primed Pistol Gambit, Sure Shot, and Augur Seeker for maximum status and critical output. On my Riven slot, I have a Burst Laser Riven for extra multi-shot, base damage, and heat. If I'm not using a Riven, I slot in Pistol Elementalist for more status damage and reload speed. This companion setup focuses on spreading status, supporting orb generation, and keeping you covered with utility and loot collection. Diriga is not the star of the show, but it keeps your Saryn running smooth in the background. That's the full breakdown from start to finish. With this setup, you get high survivability, huge damage scaling, and weapon synergy that lets you wipe out rooms with ease. Every part of the build is tuned for status spreading, crit ramping, and melee dominance. The health and energy sustain keep you going no matter what's happening on screen. Shield gating and damage resistance mods make you tough to kill, while Venom Dose and Roar keep your damage numbers high. Dual Keres Prime is the centerpiece here. It balances high crit and strong status for the best synergy with Saryn's kit. With your Archon Shards stacked for toxin damage, sustain, and energy quality of life, you're ready for steelpath or any endgame mission. The rest of the loadout just keeps the engine running. Sado Prime and Spore Laser fill in when you need range support. Diriga with Burst Laser Prime keeps you supplied with orbs, stuns, and constant utility. If you want a Citrine build that rewards aggressive melee play and never loses momentum, this is the setup I recommend. Try it out, tweak it to your playstyle, and let me know in the comments how it works for you. Now, if you stuck around till the end of the video, I really appreciate your support. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found it helpful. Maybe my way of playing Saryn is something new to you, or something you haven't tried yet. Thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a blessed week. Until then, see you on the next one, Tenno.